Hey, yo, what's up? This is Drizzy Drake. Press that free like button if you believe that Rick Ross is the most overrated rapper in the world. Let's be real here. He can't make a hit mainstream song without me on the song blessing it. Without me, people would have never taken Rick Ross seriously thanks to 50 Cent. Rick Ross will always be Officer Ricky. And please don't mention Every Day I'm Hustling because I think that song came out when I was still on Degrassi. Look, you better drop and give me 50. Niggas really got Walt Clyde out here talking like he's 50.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's facts. I am the 50 Cent of fake pro wrestling because once I target you, you are done. I will end your career on YouTube to a point where nobody will take you seriously once I target you. So that's a warning, man. Listen, I'm that kind of guy where if you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you because I can be a bully just like 50 Cent once I target you. I'm a sleeping giant. Let sleeping giants lie, right? I will let you live, just keep your mouth shut. But let's talk about what do I think about the Bloodline Civil War. I think this will be great for fake pro wrestling. And here's why. I think they need to move Cody Rhodes to Raw because you can't have Cody Rhodes on SmackDown with Roman Reigns, and here's why. Those two guys are the top two guys of the company. They can't be on the same brand. That makes no sense. So, I think Cody Rhodes will be drafted to Raw as the current world champion. So, what do I think what Triple H is going to do with this story? Now, I'm hearing dumb shit. Listen, all you Roman Reigns nut huggers need to stop saying dumb shit. Listen, drop and give me 50. I'm over here talking like I'm 50. Now, here's what the World Wrestling Federation is going to do with the Bloodline Civil War. Now, I hate when people say that Rocky Maivia is not going to be a part of this storyline. I'm like, you can't be this dumb. It's like, even smart marks and non-smart marks know where this is going. So how the hell are you going to say that Rocky Maivia is not going to be at War Games Survivor Series? Like, bruh, listen. After this summer, he's not going to be busy. Listen, he is one of the bosses. So he is a part of the company. So he knows what's going on. Let me dive deeper. He's the reason why Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are in the World Wrestling Federation. And here's why. How come they never signed Jacob Fatu after all these years? The moment Rocky Maivia became a board member, he brings in two people that I never thought would ever step foot in the World Wrestling Federation, and that's Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Okay, by that same logic, that means that Rocky Maivia has a plan for both those guys to be a part of the Bloodline Civil War. Common sense. So why wouldn't he be a part of War Games? If this is his story and idea to bring both these guys in, like what? Obviously, he's going to be a part of War Games. He's going to be there. He is a board member. You can't have a Bloodline War without Roman and Rock. That's not how that works, right? Okay. Who made the call to attack Jimmy Uso? Was it Rock, Roman, or Sikoa? Nobody knows, but I think it was Rocky Maivia who told Solo to do that. That's what I think. But they are trying to plant seeds on the potential war between Rocky Maivia and Roman Reigns. Now, I saw a video of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman walking away from Rocky after he lost to Cody Rhodes. So that was a seed that was planted. So I think that Roman is pissed off at Rock for his loss against Cody Rhodes on night 2 at WrestleMania. That is going to play a huge factor in this war because I think that Rocky don't care that Reigns lost to Cody Rhodes. I think Roman knows that, and Rocky will let his ass know that he don't care that he lost to Cody Rhodes because Rocky wants to beat Cody Rhodes for the world title. I think that's going to play a huge role in this war. But this is where this is going. I think that Sami Zayn will be drafted back to SmackDown because every year, the mid-card champions, they gotta switch brands every year. So obviously, Sami Zayn will be on SmackDown. So, but I think that Jey Uso will also be on SmackDown because this dude has to be a part of the war. Like, obviously, right? But how will they do it? Because this dude just had a feud with Jimmy Uso. But Jimmy, he will be off TV for months and months. I think so. But during that downtime, I think once the chips are on the table, the OG bloodline will reunite. Sami Zayn, Roman, and Usos. That's what I think. Why? Because that's a 4-on-4. That makes sense for War Games. You can't have a War Games match with 3-on-3. That's not how War Games works. So every year, every War Games match, it has to be 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. Do I need to repeat that? It's not a 3-on-3. It's either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. That's the max on every War Games match. So let's do the math. If there is an OG bloodline reunion, that means there's Sami Zayn, Roman, and Usos. Okay, who will Rocky have in his corner? Rock will have Jacob, Tama Tonga, Solo, and him. Okay, why don't you do the fucking math? That's 4-on-4. That's enough for a War Games match. And The Rock will be there. Okay, he's a board member. All right, so he has to be there. This is his storyline. Now, when will Rock wrestle Cody Rhodes? I think that match might be at the Royal Rumble. But how will we get Roman Reigns versus Rocky Maivia at next year's WrestleMania? Okay, obviously, Roman will have to help Cody Rhodes beat The Rock at the Royal Rumble. I think Roman will cost The Rock that match. I think that makes the most sense. And that's how we will get Roman and Rock at WrestleMania. This will be a slow burn storyline, meaning we might not see Jacob Fatu for a long time on SmackDown or Raw. You know why? Because they have to build him up in NXT. So let's talk about Tama Tonga. The reason Tama Tonga did not go to NXT is because that guy has a bigger name than Jacob Fatu. So that makes sense. Bruh, Tama Tonga is an OG member of the Bullet Club. So that makes sense. People know who the fuck he is, but not Jacob Fatu. So they gotta build him up on Tuesdays. They gotta build him up on NXT for maybe 4 to 5 months. Now we can build him up to War Games. We have to get people to know who Jacob Fatu is. Just like they did Sikoa. You gotta build him up in NXT first. So remember this video. Sami Zayn will reunite with the OG Bloodline because he is an OG member even before Sikoa. So that makes sense for Sikoa to side with Rocky Maivia. Now, during a past interview, this is what I heard. I heard that Sikoa is not close with Jimmy RJ. But that's in real life. That's crazy. That's what he said. He said that he was never close with his big brothers. So this is real life shit. That makes sense for Solo to side with Rocky Maivia. Because Solo ain't close with the Usos in real life. Because those guys were his big brothers. So they had zero in common. Like, that makes sense, right? If you are a younger brother, you don't have tons in common with your big brothers. So that makes sense. But at the same time, he said that he was never all that close with Roman Reigns in real life. So this is a great storyline that's based on real life. So it makes sense for him to side with Tama Tonga and Rocky Maivia. Now, let's talk about Tama Tonga. Why is Tama Tonga in the World Wrestling Federation? Well, it's quite simple. Rock, he loves Haku. He sees Haku as his uncle. So he did a favor for Tama Tonga by getting him signed by the World Wrestling Federation. And listen, a lot of people don't know this. Tama Tonga don't like Roman Reigns. Like I said, man, this is the perfect storm. You got Solo, was never close with the Usos or Roman in real life. And Tama Tonga don't like Roman Reigns in real life. So this is a real life bloodline storyline that's going to play out on TV. Now, last month, I made a video about Tama Tonga coming to the World Wrestling Federation. And I said that Tama Tonga don't like Roman Reigns. And I said that those two guys will not be in the same group. And that came true. Because now there's a Bloodline Civil War. And obviously, Tama Tonga will not be on Team Roman Reigns. I caught that. I was the first one to call that out. Because I'm a huge fan of Tama Tonga. And I know he don't like Roman Reigns in real life. There's no way the hell Tama Tonga would have been in the same group as Roman. I'm like, no way. I'm like, hell no. That's not going to happen. Now, where does Sami Zayn fit in all this? Now, if he forgives Jimmy and Roman, okay, what's stopping Sami Zayn from forgiving Roman and Jimmy? So, like I said, that makes sense. From a logical standpoint, that makes sense. Why wouldn't Sami Zayn follow and help Jay with the OG bloodline? If Jay can forgive Roman and Jimmy, okay, why can't Sami? Like I said, Sami is an OG member of the bloodline. And he loved being in that group, and he's boys with Jey Uso. So, why wouldn't Sami Zayn forgive Roman and Jimmy? So yes, my prediction is Sami Zayn will reunite with the OG bloodline. It makes the most sense. That's a 4-on-4. Because Solo was never a full-fledged member of the bloodline. Not like Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was there in like what? I think year 2. So Sami Zayn is an OG member. I swear, man, people make some of the dumbest videos about the bloodline in terms of, man, like you people, like you gag on the dick of the bloodline. I'm like, bruh, I saw a video. This dude said that the World Wrestling Federation is boring without the bloodline. I'm like, wow, man. It's like, can you please take Roman Reigns' dick out your fucking mouth? Oh my God, like, bro. I mean, dude, let's be real. It's mostly black people that gag on the dicks of the fucking bloodline. This dude said that the World Wrestling Federation is boring without the bloodline. Okay, give me proof if Roman Reigns has been a part-timer for the past 2 years, a hardcore part-timer. I'm like, bro, Jay left the group last summer. What the fuck have they been doing since last summer? Like, what are you talking about? Like I said, it's mostly black people, man. That they just gag on the dicks of the bloodline. I don't know why. Maybe because they feel like a thug group. Maybe, maybe because it feels like a gangster thug-like group. But I don't get it. But the bloodline has been boring ever since Sami Zayn left. Ever since Jey Uso left. So what the fuck are you talking about? Bruh, when was the last time Sikoa won a goddamn match? When was the last time Jimmy Uso won a match? So how is the bloodline carrying this company? It's like, bro, you can't hate Cody Rhodes that bad to just fucking bold-faced lie like that, man. Bruh, Roman Reigns has only defended the world title only, 2 times this year. Last year, I think only 2 or 3 times last year. Bro, he was barely on the show. So how is the bloodline needed? He's a part-timer who don't show up. Dog, All we see is Sikoa taking L's. All we see is Jimmy taking L's. Hence why he was kicked out of the Bloodline last week. Because he's a loser, but it's kind of ironic because Sikoa, he's also a fucking loser. So that was weird. I'm like, huh? I'm like, wait a minute. Bruh, when was the last time Sikoa won a goddamn match? So that was weird. But the point is, the Bloodline are losers. They have always been losers. Even Jay was a goddamn loser as a fucking singles. So I don't get it. But let's talk about this whole Bloodline OG war. I think it's going to be a 4-4 at War Games. I think The Rock, he will show up. Why? This is his story. How the fuck are we going to get Rocky Maivia and Roman at next year's WrestleMania? We have to get there somehow. The Rock has to show up to push this fucking storyline. If he was the one that brought in Jacob and Tama Tonga to this company, you gotta wake up. So obviously, The Rock will be here to tell this story with Roman Reigns. But don't get it twisted. The only people that love the Bloodline are black fans of wrestling. That's it. Because they feel like a thug-like group. That's the only reason you black people love the Bloodline. That's facts. No opinions being told here. It's only black people that make videos praising and gagging on the dicks of the Bloodline. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me. Tell me I'm lying. It's only black people that gag on the dicks of the Bloodline on YouTube in videos. Not me, but other people. You know who they are. I'm not going to say names, but you know who the fuck they are. Like, bro, it's so cringe. But overall, I think this will be a good storyline. Why? Because Roman ain't no champion. Rocky ain't no champion. So this will not hinder the show. As long as Roman Reigns ain't no champion, bro, I don't care how he's booked. I don't care if he shows up as a part-timer. I don't care. Now, do I think that Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown? No. And here's why. I think Roman will be a free agent, just like Brock Lesnar. That's facts. Mark it here. I think Roman Reigns will be a free agent, just like Brock Lesnar. Why? Because he is a part-timer. Part-timers don't get drafted, just like Brock Lesnar. I think Roman would not be drafted. Now, I can't be wrong. Right? I might be wrong, but I think Roman would not be drafted. I think Roman will be a free agent, just like Brock Lesnar, because of that part-time schedule. That will be a waste of a draft pick if you draft Roman goddamn Reigns. That makes no sense. He's a part-timer. Now, what do I think about Tama Tonga's debut? That shit makes sense. That was a great debut. Because I heard that people in the audience knew who the fuck he was. So that was a great debut. Listen, not everybody needs the AJ Styles treatment. Not everybody needs the Kenny Omega-like treatment. Like, dude, why can't there be a surprise debut where half the audience don't know who the fuck he is? Just like Brock Lesnar. Remember? Back in 2002, nobody knew who the fuck Brock was. I didn't. But that shit worked because of Paul Heyman. That shit makes sense. It seemed like Paul Heyman had this big ass monster that nobody knew. But people wanted to know about him. So that was a great debut. Because I was like, hold on, who the fuck is this monster? I'm like, huh? That was a great debut. Just like Tama Tonga. Now, look, I ain't saying he's Brock. I'm just trying to make context. This was a great debut. He don't need the AJ Styles treatment. It's not that serious, man. This is how it was back in the day, where half the audience did not know who these guys were. But eventually, we knew who they were based on booking. It's all about the follow-up and the booking. Triple H will make sure we know who the fuck Tama Tonga is. That's the point. Not everybody needs the red carpet treatment. So, at the end of the day, Tama Tonga is an OG Bullet Club member legend. He is a legend in New Japan Pro Fake Wrestling. So, of course, he don't need NXT.